Hello and welcome. Today we're going to be unboxing, building, and customizing the Figure Eye Standard Super Saiyan Trunks from Dragon Ball Z. I'm super excited for this build. I just got this guy off of Amazon. He was on sale, like 32 bucks, which was a pretty good deal for these figures. I actually have a couple of the other Figure Eyes kits, and I was super excited to get this one because he just looks like he has like tons of accessories. One of my favorite Dragon Ball Z characters also. So I mean, without further ado, let's just get right into it. Before I get into building, I do want to say that the way I'm going to be customizing this is a very similar way to, I feel like I'm going to butcher his name, MC Paikia, or Mick Paikia, if you want to say that like that. I've watched some of his, he does some Figure Eyes customization videos, and I love his customizations. They just look great, the way he customizes figures. He does them like a manga style, so I'm going to try doing something like that today, and make sure to just go check out his channel, because, I mean, he does some great work. Another thing I want to mention, I won't be using many materials. I'll just be using some markers for the shading. I'll be using some just general paint, yellow paint for the hair, and some oil pastels. I saw a technique this would be good for shading the pants and hair. And I'm also going to be using a matte finish at the end. Okay, so I'm working on the eyes right now, and all I did so far was I just added a tiny bit of black around the eye. If I can focus, there we go. Literally just with a marker. So if you want to add that, it kind of separates the eye from the face. So if you want to do that, I recommend it. Demonstrate how I'm doing the faces on Trunks here. All I'm doing is just taking, this is literally just like it's not an actual Sharpie like permanent marker. It's almost like a Sharpie like, I don't even know what you call it. It's just Sharpie flip chart on it. I'm just putting it in all the crevices where I want there to be shading, especially in the ear areas. I don't want to go too crazy, and if it gets too much, I can start washing it off with just a wet Q-tip, and then you just want to shade everything in. I just finished up all the faces. Here is the base face using the same marker technique. I also added some subtle shading to the hair. Kind of hard to tell on yeah, you can't really tell on camera, but all I did was use oil pastels and Q-tip. So I kind of put oil pastels on a paper, rub the Q-tip on, and then I rub the Q-tip onto the hair, which I recommend, or you can just take the oil pastel, put it straight onto the hair, and then use the Q-tip to spread it around. Okay, I did an oil pastel technique on the legs and boots for shading. All I really did was I took a black oil pastel and just kind of put it on the plastic and rubbed that around with a Q-tip. So that looks pretty great. Also did the same thing to get some subtle shading on the jacket. Kind of hard to see on camera. It's really subtle, but I also did the same technique. Okay, for the sword and the sword holder, I'm going to spray paint the silver parts with silver, and then I'm going to paint them their specific colors after. Okay, so here is the final product. Super duper happy with how it turned out. I had a really great time customizing this figure. Just some final thoughts I wanted to put in at the end here. I actually did not end up painting the Super Saiyan hair. The plastic doesn't look great on its own, but my collection is actually in a place where there's a lot of sunlight, so when the sun does hit that pearlescent plastic, it does look really great. I think it really does look like actual Super Saiyan hair, like that glowy effect, so I decided, I just wouldn't paint it in the end. Shading turned out really well on this figure. I didn't do anything too crazy with the customizations. I didn't want to go too crazy. Just did some simple stuff like shading, a bit of painting. Tried out some new stuff like the black around the eyes and things like that, and turned out pretty well. Tried out the oil pastel shading, worked pretty well. I do think that I did make the sword a bit dark. I'll probably go back and lighten that up with different spray paint. Probably get a new spray paint and lighten that up a bit. But other than that, still do think that looks great. Articulation on Trunks is also fantastic. Way better than I thought it would be. Definitely better. I was able to get him in a lot of cool poses. So that was fun. Posing this figure was a lot of fun. Had a lot of fun posing him around. So, I mean, all in all, definitely a fantastic figure. Super fun time customizing. I mean, if you're on the fence about getting him, you definitely should. Definitely a really great time.